Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Marquee, the first Marquee of 2022.
It is the first one of 2022.
Yeah, we are the Cinefanatics. My name is Robert Adams.
I'm Chris Adams.
And no, you're not the boss. Get out of here with that mug. How's everyone doing tonight? We ready to rank some movies?
I'm ready to rank some movies. Yes.
Well, good. Well, I'm glad you are. Welcome to Awkward City. We are the Cinefanatics. This is the Marquee. If that's what you are wanting to watch at this time of night, then you are in the right place because that's what we are doing. Very well put. Eloquent. Good. Before we get started, y'all, same usual YouTube stuff. You got questions, comments, anything you want to make sure we see, streamlabs.com/cinefanatics up there. Also, make sure you help us out. Hop on patreon.com/cinefanatics. Choose the tier that is good for you. And yeah, lots of cool, fun stuff happening over there. What is today? Saturday?
Today is Saturday.
We're doing the Marquee. Monday, if you're at the $5 tier on the Patreon, we are doing Groundhog Day watch along. So hop on the $5 due tier on patreon.com and watch that with us. And then when you're done with it, watch it with us. And then when we're done with that, you can watch it with us. It's like your joke that you did on Tagline, just a lot more condensed and streamlined. But yeah, I would say.
So therefore worse.
I guess. That makes you feel better. You gonna sleep better tonight? Cool. Don't care. Anyways, there's a lot of good movies that we already know about coming out in 2022. One of them has already come out, so therefore it's not going to be on this list. But there's a bunch of them that are. So we've got about 27 movies to rank here.
Wowzers! 27? What? That's a lot of movies. What? Okay. What movies are they?
What movies are they? Let's go ahead and get to this marquee looking thing.
This thing that looks like a marquee. Boom. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, apparently you can't click like two things at the same time. You have to click one and then move the mouse over to click the other.
Come on, StreamYard.
Yeah.
What do we give you money for?
Also. There we go.
That too. That as
well. Typically, yeah, on the Marquee, we usually have like a guest joining us, and we probably will in the future. This one, I kind of wanted to stick with just the two of us. This is the Cinefanatics like group thought of where these movies should go. So that's what we're going to stick with.
Somewhat group thought. I mean, we're probably going to get into it on some of these. So that's part of the fun. It's why you watch a NASCAR race. You want to watch the cars crash. You watch the Marquee to watch the two brothers want to punch each other in the face based on where they want to put Batman.
Yeah. Let's see. Just getting one more thing set up.
Thank you, Malcolm. I'm glad somebody else finally noticed. I appreciate you. All this hard work that I put into in my brand and my beautiful face. And this one's just got to put himself right on top. All right.
Well, I mean,
get my way on one of these movies.
That is in line with where my name is on the overlay.
Yeah. Who put that name there?
Well, don't worry about it.
I didn't make the overlay.
Right off the bat, we got a Streamlab donation from Garth saying ideas for future Marquee episodes. The Marquee side for Star Wars movies. The Marquee Desaad for tearjerker movies. Wow. The sad, yeah. Marquee Mark for Mark Wahlberg movies. I like that one. My top 2022 movie is The Northman, coming out on my birthday. Vikings, yay!
Huzzah!
Yeah. And that was the other thing I forgot to mention. This one is the Marquee An-Tier-Cipation.
Say it.
Patient.
No. Oh.
Yeah. Those of y'all that are fans of whatever musical that's from.
Rocky Horror Picture.
I know what. Yeah, I know.
Come on, I'm the one who's been on Twitch for like 7 hours already today, and I'm the one who's got more of the. All right, let's go. Let's do this.
All right, so Top Gun Maverick, where are we sticking it? Real quick, as we don't really have any set rules on how many movies we're limiting to S tier or F tier. We are going to go through this list, possibly shift some things around once we see all the movies that we're gauging on here. But that's how this is going to work. So again, right off the bat, Top Gun Maverick, where do we want to stick this?
I think, let's see, we have that one is, I'm actually fairly excited about that. I'm surprised I'm fairly excited about that because we've known about this movie for how long? It was supposed to come out how many years ago?
Yeah, this movie's turning into the New Mutants.
Wasn't it supposed to come out in 2020 originally?
Yeah, it was supposed to come out the summer of 2020.
Here's the thing. I watched Top Gun a long time ago. I need to rewatch it. I probably will rewatch it before seeing this movie. Upon a rewatch, I might get more excited and more hyped up for it just because it's been so long. Mm-hmm. But for right now, the movie's supposed to come out 2 years ago. I would probably put this at a healthy B for me right now. Again, it would probably go higher once I watch Top Gun again, once I rewatch it.
Yeah, and I kind of agree with that. So let's go ahead for right now. We will stick it in B.
Did anything happen summer 2020? No, AJ, nothing happened during summer 2020.
Yeah, it's Top Gun Maverick and the New Mutants. Yeah, is the New Mutants.
Y'all let us know in the chat also where you're ranking things, where you're placing it for yourself too.
Yes, and I get that the that's looks like the 8 tier. Yes, we got it. I will work on that graphic a little bit more after we're done with this.
Marquee's you had to condense it a little bit so it kind of squished the S.
Yeah. I'm not doing these movies in any particular order. I'm just clicking on which one do I want to talk about next. Next one I want to talk about.
Next one that he wants to talk about.
Me. Okay, after this, you can pick one.
I can't see the board.
So, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Shoot, man. This is why we might actually need a rule for how many we can stick in S, because I'm almost willing to put this in S just based on the concept alone.
The concept and that trailer. We both did see the trailer for this movie, and it looks hilarious.
So it's Pedro Pascal is playing some rich guy or wherever. I guess he's some kind of foreign dignitary of some sort or some rich person or what have you.
Yeah.
Who just wants to hang out with Nicolas Cage. So Nicolas Cage comes in. He's playing himself. Maybe a heightened version of himself, but we know that's still Nicolas Cage. And he's spending some time with him. And I think that just sounds like a wonderful concept, just putting those two together and Nicolas Cage just being himself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Seeing the hijinks and whatnot.
I like the concept of this very much. Yeah, I would probably say I know what other movies, we know what other movies are coming up on here that I know are probably going to be more of a, yes, that's an S. I would put this probably low S or very high A.
Yeah, I'd say go ahead and stick it in S right now. Again, we have 6 tiers. If we had, oh man, I'm trying to think of how to evenly break these up so we actually have to push things in different tiers.
AJ was saying the same. S.
Yeah.
Massive Talent will be S tier for me. The trailer looks amazing. It does. And yeah, kind of agree with that. Yeah. I'm only still wanting to put it in B just for nostalgia reasons. I believe it's still going to be pretty decent and a lot of fun, but
yeah, it's got the hype of being a returning property that we haven't seen in years. So
yeah. So
all right, what's next?
Which one would you like to do?
I don't know. I can't tell you which one I'm
coming out. Think of a movie that's coming out this year. Which one would you like to talk about?
Let's do a Pixar movie. Is there a Pixar movie on the list?
There might be a couple of Pixar movies. Do you have a preference as to which one?
Let's do that Turning Red or whichever one that one's called again.
Turning Red. I almost want to sing that Turning Japanese song, which is like
Please don't.
bad.
Please don't do that.
And especially because this is involving an Asian character. Yeah, it's probably not good for, public at all. Turning Red. This actually looks really cute.
It looks interesting. I mean, I like the fact that it's almost Incredible Hulk for kids.
Yeah.
Even though Incredible Hulk is you can still watch that as a family. But there's some really good stuff in here that it looks fascinating. It doesn't look like your typical like Pixar story, which is like a story about bugs, a story about toys, a story about fish. But Pixar's also been kind of straying away from that lately as well. I don't know. Here's the thing we got to keep in mind for this one. Cancel Robert. Here's the thing you got to keep in mind for this one. It's going to Disney Plus, which, is kind of a bummer. Obviously, you want to see these movies, thrive in the theater, especially after the whole Panini and everything. We want to see these movies thrive in theaters again. But I'm a little bit more excited for it, honestly, because I get to sit here at home and watch it. Yeah. I don't know if it's Pixar. Pixar's great, but right now with like limited budget, Cinefanatics doesn't have like this big like movie going budget behind it. We have to pick and choose which movies we're actually able to go see in theaters right now. So for this one, I'm glad that we get to see it because it's going to end up on Disney Plus. It's going to be an easy watch, which does raise it. It does hype it up a little bit more for me. Plus it looks cute.
Yeah. Like you were saying, this looks like Incredible Hulk for kids. I'll be honest, as a giant comic book fan, I actually think this looks more interesting than Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, well, it's also got like cultural values to it too. It's based off of, I believe, a mythology of sorts. So
yeah, Turning Red does look pretty good. Yes, no, I do understand what Turning Japanese means.
All right, let's move on from that.
Hello, yeah, I agree. A. Say like high A.
We can put it in A for right now. I don't necessarily know that I am actually more hyped for that than Top Gun Maverick. I'd say that they're probably about even in terms of that in comparison to a lot of other movies that are going to be on this list. But
yeah, the only other reason I'm thinking top of A for right now is there is another Pixar movie that's in this list that I'm probably more hyped for than Turning Red.
Right.
Would you like to pick another one, sir?
Yeah, no, just grab one. Just grab one. Let's just fly by the seat of our pants here.
Okay, that sounds like fun. Let's do this one because this one's coming up pretty soon. Uncharted.
Ooh, all right, guys. Uncharted. Solid low D.
I feel like I want to sing that one song, but so Uncharted or whatever it is. I messed that up, but I mean, I forgot who even sings it.
Glad you brought it up. Let's put this at a low D.
You're saying low D?
Yeah, so here's the thing on this. I know about the video game. I've seen cutscenes from the video game. So I know enough about the video game, but I've also never actually played the video game. And for me, based on what I do know, I know they're going with a younger cast for a reason, but Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg are not Nathan Drake and Sully. Even to me, someone who hasn't played the game and has just seen cutscenes and stuff, it doesn't seem right. So there's, unfortunately, you got the video game movie thing going on here, and I think the hype is just overall getting killed on this for a lot of that.
Yeah, and see, like Malcolm says, he's a massive Uncharted fan. It's Marquee Mark. Nice. Yeah, I don't play modern video games, so I have like no excitement for this at all. I'm probably not personally not interested. Yeah, I would personally stick this in F as well.
The thing about this is that I think the movie itself, in its very base form, its foundation, is going to be a fun movie. It'll probably be an entertaining adventure movie, and that'll be great. It's the fact that it's attached to the Uncharted name and doesn't feel or look like Uncharted that has me a little worried about it. Again, I'd probably stick this low D myself. It might end up in F depending on what else we got and how much we want to shift things around.
Yeah. Let's go with.
So far, I feel like we're doing well with the chat here. Everybody seems to be okay with our choices.
Yeah,
that'll change later.
That will change, and there's one in particular that I'm trying not to just jump into because I know that's like the moneymaker of this episode tonight. So I'm going to hold on to that one for a little bit longer. I do want to come back. I did see AJ Lancaster said that Turning Red reminds him of The Red by Chevelle. Is that a dated reference? So lay down. The thread is real. Yeah, that's a good song. Let's go with Morbius, another movie that's been pushed around like crazy. So by saying that it's a movie that's also been pushed around, that draws comparisons to Top Gun Maverick. Again, this is a comic book movie, and I like my comic book movies, but I actually kind of feel like I'm more anticipating Top Gun Maverick than I am Morbius. I don't see the need for a Morbius solo movie. It's just...
Yeah. So I'm going to repeat myself what I just said when you brought up the name Morbius. Yeah, I'm not hyped for this at all. I'm going to go see it, but the fact that it's still heavily attached to the Venom universe, the Venom Spider-Man universe, and I just think those movies are just very okay. And then on top of that, it's like, yeah, Morbius as a character for me is just, I just don't care. I'd rather see him joined up with Spider-Man in a Spider-Man movie than see him on his own. And even then, I think there's better Spider-Man villains to pick from right now for a Spider-Man movie. Yeah. I mean, I personally would put it in F. I mean, the thing about it is we're still going to go see it, but I have no hype or anything for Morbius anymore.
So I want to
especially after it's been pushed around.
I would stick it above Uncharted because the comic book nerd in me is still interested in seeing it. Like I do have interest. F is movies like I really like. If this movie didn't come out, I wouldn't care.
Yeah,
it has no effect on me. Which it would be Uncharted for me at least. Morbius, I still kind of care. I know you're a comic book fan as well. So I mean, you still kind of care about this movie coming out, but kind of like it doesn't need to exist. But since it does, cool.
I understand all of that, but the fact that it's been pushed around so much just kind of negates every bit of that for me.
Yeah,
I just don't care anymore. I'll see it, but I'm not expecting it to be good.
So high D, okay for right now.
That's fine, only because you would have put it Uncharted in F, so we can compromise on that.
So we got a nice F tier, D tier.
Yep.
Owen Wilson as a vampire. Wow, sign me up. Oh, that's Mobius, not Morbius. Yeah, that's confusing as hell.
Wow.
But I would be more excited for a Mobius solo movie over a Morbius movie. Actually, that's kind of true. I would actually be.
Caveat to that: only if he's riding a jet ski at some point in the movie.
Yeah. And then you got Kat with the How I Met Your Mother reference here.
Yeah, that's a good one. I tend to try to forget most things about How I Met Your Mother after the terrible ass ending.
Let's do one that's could potentially be controversial, but this one I believe is also fun, and this one I'm really eager to see. Oh, well, I'm not eager to see that. What just popped up in the chat, but
good God, everybody all at once.
Yeah, Cat's like, oh,
let's go. All right.
We're doing something good tonight, y'all. We got like the not only the Russian bots, but we also got the ones without clothing bots. That's awesome.
I like to think we're getting the ones without clothing because we've got at least 10 viewers right now.
Yeah, probably.
So that to say, thank you guys so much for showing up to the Marquee tonight and hanging out with us. We do appreciate it.
Bots are S tier. The one without clothing that I can actually read what it's saying, yeah, that's more S tier than the Russian one that I have no idea what they're advertising or trying to get you to click on. So, anyways,
data breach.
So here's one that could potentially be controversial, but I really want to see what the chat thinks of this. Let's go with Avatar 2.
Oh, you think this is controversial, huh?
This one might, I don't know. This one might
You're about
be
to get
controversial.
shocked. You're about to get shocked by how not controversial this is.
Cool. This is a big flat freaking F for me. I do not care about this movie whatsoever. I saw the first one in the theater. The 3D effects were gorgeous. The whole movie was shot beautifully. The movie itself was very dull, very boring, and just I think I watched it once. I don't think I've been able to watch it a second time.
I am more into, generally speaking, I rewatched it also within like the last year and a half or so, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I rewatched the first one. And a very baseline formula. It's a good movie. It's an okay movie. The story, obviously, derivative, of course, as it is. It's still a good movie. They do a good job telling the story. The cast does great. Everybody comes to play exactly as they should. The CGI is fantastic. The 3D was better in the theater because that was awesome. And, we don't have access to 3D here. But as a whole, they have taken so damn long to make a sequel to that movie. The first one came out in 2009. And granted, I understand this argument doesn't really work for Top Gun Maverick. That's more of like a legacy sequel at this point.
Yeah.
This is not a legacy sequel. This is a movie that James Cameron's been talking about since 2009, essentially, about wanting to make 2, 3, 4, 5. And they've taken over 10 years to do it. It's not an F tier for me because, again, I still enjoyed the original for what it was, for what it's worth. I would probably put this as a low C. So I think for us, we probably want to balance it out in the D tier somewhere, maybe mid to low D.
I don't care about this movie, but here's the thing. Honestly, I would go see Uncharted before I see Avatar 2.
So here's the thing, though. Avatar 2 could actually be an incredibly original story now as compared to the first one.
It could.
Completely revitalize the franchise. Could actually end up being a really good movie. It has the potential for that. So therefore, I have at least some interest in it still. It's just it's taken so long to come out with it, man.
I swear to God, I want to put something in F tier. Okay. So how about this? Let's go with Halloween Ends.
Here's the fun part about this. I have no say on horror movies. So all horror movies that end up on this list, I am actually going to defer to his opinion on completely. Otherwise, they all end up in F tier for me, more or less. Actually, there's one on this list that probably won't, but we'll get to it when we get to it.
Going back, looking at the chat for Avatar, we got Garth was saying D tier. Jeremy saying that Avatar 2's A tier. That's cool. Brennan was saying F.
Yeah, if it's not James Cameron directing, it'd be less exciting. Absolutely.
Yeah, and James Cameron does help on that. Avatar 2 filmed in New Zealand, no lie. I put it B tier. I love the first movie. If it doesn't come out this year, though, then it goes in F. Yeah. As far as Halloween Ends, F tier. Evil Dies in F tier. Halloween Ends, F tier. Evil Ends Tonight. I have no interest in this series anymore.
Isn't F tier where we put the other one that came out? What was it called? Halloween Kills?
Yeah, I would put Halloween Kills in F tier also.
I care so little about it that I don't even remember what its name was.
Yeah. Let's move on. Let's go with let's do The Flash.
Ooh, all right. Speaking of The Flash, did you guys see that Ezra Miller video? Oh boy, what a ride. All right, let's talk about The Flash.
I feel like a better way to enjoy content that's making fun of the KKK is probably just watch what's that movie? Time to Kill. I love A Time to Kill. Yeah, that's much better content that is like against the KKK. Although Ezra Miller's video was short and quick, so I mean, there's that on its side.
It just didn't have the oomph of yes, they deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell. It just didn't have the same oomph that did.
Chris doesn't care about a horror slasher movie. Shocker. He doesn't care about that movie either. Not the Shocker movie.
Oh. Yikes. So The Flash.
Not only did they recast Ezra Miller, there are multiples of them.
Just sticking it in your face at this point.
Here's the thing. I know that this story, it seems like they're more leaning towards like the Flashpoint storyline from the comics, which would be cool. My issue with it, like from the very get-go, is I don't like Ezra Miller as the Flash.
Yeah.
Like, just he doesn't look like Barry Allen to me.
Yeah.
And that's the Barry Allen Flash is the one I would say I'm the most familiar with, the one I grew up watching. Like John Wesley Shipp played Barry Allen in the Flash TV show, and even though it looks like he's walking around wearing a bodysuit made of pillows, it still looked good. It looked authentic, and I believe that as the Flash. I don't believe Ezra Miller as the Flash.
No, I wasn't big on his casting either when we first got the news of it. So even still, like he did fine. He did all right as the Flash in like Justice League, but there was definitely better individuals to cast as Flash. Yeah, see, this is a good question. So Kat brings this up. What did you think of Grant Gustin as Barry Allen? From what little I've seen, I like him better than Ezra Miller.
Yeah, I do like Grant Gustin a lot more. His headpiece looks really weird. He's got like a massive head when wearing the costume. But yeah, I do like him a lot more than Ezra Miller. But that being said, I'm not a big DC Comics CW fan. I stopped watching like after Smallville. So
yeah, there's just so many of them now. It's hard to keep up with too, with everything else. Anyway, this Flash. So there's a couple things this movie does have going for it. One, it's the Flashpoint, the idea that we might be resetting a lot of stuff in the DC universe that probably needs to be reset at this point if we're trying to go back to being a cohesive storyline again.
Why'd you use the word probably? It does need to be reset.
Well, you know, I'm hedging for the people out there that really love it the way it is right now. All three people that exist in history. But the other thing it's got going for it is the Michael Keaton of it all. That, I think, is actually your selling point. Is your Michael Keaton returning to the role of Batman. That's a much bigger selling point now than there even being a movie of The Flash, which is sad. Yeah. We need a Flash movie.
Especially if this Michael Keaton Batman is like kind of a wink, wink, nod, nod backdoor into making a Batman Beyond movie. Yeah. If they were to do that with Michael Keaton already signed on as the older Bruce Wayne, oh, that's going to be so good.
Mm-hmm.
So
here's the thing. We don't even have a trailer for this yet, really. Well, we got some stuff. We got some like
images.
First look footages and images and stuff, but we don't have like a real legitimate trailer for this yet. So it's really hard to even tell what this movie is going to look like, the tone of it, or anything. I think maybe hype goes up once we get that. And this might be something we repeat for several of these movies, that they need trailers before we get like really hyped up for them. But as of right now, the fact that there's a lot about this movie I don't care about, but the Michael Keaton of it all kind of balances it out. I would be okay with sticking this probably as a low C.
I would probably agree with that. Or just for right now, just put it in C.
Yeah.
And we'll see if it does any better.
Yeah, Garth says there's a teaser trailer. So there's not like a whole lot, though, to see about to gauge like the tone and everything of the movie. There was just like some brief footage and stuff to go through.
What is it, like a 10 or 15 second shot that was like during DC fandom or something like that?
I think so. I think that's what you're talking about, right? Garth was just that. Yeah. I think did we react to one? I can't remember.
We did the DC fandom the year before. That was where we got like the first look at the Batman.
Yeah.
How's it going, Alvaro? Let's see. Oh, this one might be fun. This one will be kind of interesting to talk about and see what we're doing. Hey, Maxwell.
Maxwell.
We are ranking the movies that are coming out in 2022 based on how excited we are for them.
Yeah.
So, as you can see right now, Halloween Ends is an F tier. I'm the only one who's curious about it, and I really just don't care. Still probably going to go see it. I don't know why, but
glutton for punishment.
Yeah. Speaking of horror, let's do another horror movie.
All right. Nope.
Those of y'all who don't know what Nope is, this is the third horror movie from Jordan Peele, same one who directed Get Out and Us. Get Out, Us, Nope. Really weird how the titles go.
Nope.
It's not fun if Robert talks about it drunk, Amber. Thanks, Maxwell, for the super chat there.
Yes.
Yeah, so I don't know what Nope. None
of us do.
Yeah, we don't know anything about this. We know Daniel Kaluuya is in it again, which, I mean, based off of Get Out, we know Daniel Kaluuya and Jordan Peele work very well together. We've got this, the teaser poster, I guess, here, where we see like some like little small mountain town with this hovering UFO
cloud,
miniature Galactus cloud thing next to it, with what looks like the flag thing that was coming off the end of the DeLorean at the end of Back to the Future 2. So yeah, no clue what this movie is. Absolutely none whatsoever. And
can we take a pause on this real quick on the Nope? My aesthetic OCD is giving me problems. Can you just move Flash and Halloween Ends just an inch over so that they're flush?
Is that what that was? Okay.
Yeah, much better. Much better. All right, so Nope. Amber asked if you missed her comment. Nope.
No, I see it. We were ranking movies we don't want to hear Robert talk about. What? No, we're ranking movies we do want to hear me talk about. That's why I have a YouTube channel. You know what? I'll just quit the YouTube channel. No one wants to hear my thoughts and feelings, and not that I have any opinions. Or
this channel is now called Chris Fanatics, so
we're counting down the Robert cancellation. What?
Nice. So here's the thing. I am tentatively interested because I liked Get Out. I liked Us. And if Jordan Peele sticks along the same lines of psychological horror like that, where it's not graphic, but it's a really like well-developed think piece / story, I'm in every time. So because of the prior works, because of Get Out, because of Us, you just throw this little UFO cloud thing at me, and the title is Nope, and you say, Jordan Peele did this. And I'm like, okay, you got me. Let's see what it is. So I actually do want to put this higher. Again, without seeing a trailer or anything or really knowing anything about this, just the Jordan Peele name of it all, I'm in the B tier with it right now.
So I would actually go just a small step further. I would actually probably put this like low A. Just because Jordan Peele has not let me down so far. I love his 2 movies that have come out. And I feel like this is going to be right up there with it. Just the teaser poster alone, you have my excitement on that. So,
yeah. I mean, I can get behind that just because, like, first of all, again, we're talking about horror movies, so I'll lean more to your horror expertise on these things. So if you want to put it in A, then we will go with A.
Let's go with. Let's do one that I know. Well, let's see. What is everyone saying about? Yeah, put it S tier. George Peele's been doing good. Jeremy Miller says B tier. I liked Us and Get Out. C, just because I've heard anything. There's no buzz. Yeah, that's all I'll say. I was just going just based off the poster alone. Let's go with one that I know Garth is going to want to talk about. The
Northman. Quick, what's the tagline?
The tagline for The Northman?
Yeah, I was actually half expecting you to say it's a show that we do every Wednesday at 6 or 7.
It's the show where the tagline is the title. Yeah.
It was it avenge father, save mother, kill Fjolnir. I will avenge you, father. I will save you, mother. I will kill you, Fjolnir.
So I know Garth is really, really anticipating this movie because this is like the 5th time I've seen him post this quote, like in the past 2 hours. So yeah, I know Garth is eagerly awaiting for this, but
this is a solid S tier for Garth.
Yeah. Here's that I like the Viking mythology, like the Thor, the Norse gods, Odin, Loki. I love that stuff, especially because of the comic books I know. But I've also read about the story of it outside of the comics.
Yeah.
So the trailer does look pretty epic.
It's a really good trailer.
Mm-hmm. But the only thing that has me kind of holding back just a little is that this is being directed by David Eggers, who I've seen The Witch, and The Lighthouse, and I could have sworn there was one more of his that I saw, and I forgot. But I know he has the ability to have his movies really out there, and
just to be clear, we gotta poke at this and make fun of it. I can't let it slide. You messed up on a guy's name who has the same name as you.
Robert Eggers. Okay. Why did I say David?
I don't know.
Yeah. I know Robert. I've never heard of anyone else named Robert in my entire life. As far as I know, I'm the only Robert that exists. I was really hoping there might be a Robert in the chat real quick. I'm like, oh, look.
Yeah, somebody go get Robert Parker, bring him in here real quick.
Yeah. So yeah, so Maxwell is looking forward to it. And I know Maxwell's into those kinds of movies as well. Just I don't think this is hitting quite as high for me. I would probably put this low B, high C.
So here's where I'm going to land. I'm probably going to say I will agree somewhere in the middle. This movie, it's going to depend on a lot of things for me. And I know this is, some people might not get it. Some people might not understand. Y'all who know me, y'all know I'm not into hypergraphic violence. And I can't tell from the trailer how this movie's going to fit in that tone. If it goes off that end or if it doesn't. I'm guessing it probably will. And if it does do that, this is not going to be a movie for me. And I have very little anticipation for it. Well, sorry. That's just how I do.
If it's anything like The Witch and The Lighthouse, there will probably be at least 1 or 2 shots all of a sudden that are there for shocking, shock value to see it. So that's very likely going to be in there too.
I'm not into that. So for me, that would bump it down. The potential of that bumps it down a little bit. Otherwise, the trailer was fantastic, and it, despite that, the story does look really good and does seem very intriguing.
Yeah, and of course, Anya Taylor-Joy is also in it. So,
well, in that case, put it S tier. Holy crap! What are we doing?
What are we talking about?
It's Anya Taylor-Joy.
So, are you thinking C tier?
Where are you wanting to put it?
I mean, now based on what you said, I would probably put it under Flash.
Okay, I'm fine with that. Just because this is a tier list that hits both of our opinions. So somewhere in the middle is where it might reside if I'm more of a D or something. But I'm okay with it being in C.
Trying to see. I don't know if there's anything else that I would say just by looking at it. Well, okay, yeah, there is one. Just by looking at it, what tier do we think it's going to go? Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore.
Got a question for you. What letter does this movie's title start with? The title, not the subtitle.
Oh, it starts with an F.
Put it an F.
Here's the nothing against this. Nice.
No, everything against it.
Nothing against this movie and the whole Harry Potter franchise as a whole. I'm just not a huge Harry Potter fan. I do need to go back and rewatch them again.
Yeah.
Maybe I might get hooked into it a little bit more, and I might want to revisit the Fantastic Beasts movie also. But
yeah, I will eventually watch all of these. I need to go back and revisit all the Harry Potters again myself to try to gain an interest in it again. I think I can upon rewatch. I just wasn't there in the mind space for Harry Potter when I first watched them. This one, haven't seen any of the Fantastic Beasts movies. Currently not a huge fan of Harry Potter. There's just no hype for this one. This one's definitely an F tier. Like, I probably not watch this movie this year, just because I think I would want to go back and watch all the Harry Potters and then watch all the Fantastic Beasts in preparation for it. When does it come out? First of all,
like later this year, I believe.
Is it like second half of the year?
We've already gotten a trailer for it, so it's probably coming out not too. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't even know.
Exactly.
I have it on the calendar somewhere, I believe, but Garth, F tier, another Ezra Miller movie. Yeah, so that's where it's probably going to go as F.
Yeah.
Do
any of y'all actually care about it? Is anybody in the chat like even wanting to put it at D? I'm curious.
Well, other than Malcolm saying that they would be B for him.
Oh, okay. Really? All right. There you go.
He said he likes the Fantastic Beasts, so it would be B. Mm-hmm.
I love knowing that movies still have an audience, even if like a lot of us aren't into it. Just like, again, that's why I'm okay with Solos, because I know that people love Solo for some reason, even though I do not like Solo.
Yeah. So Garth says it comes out July 15th.
So, I mean, technically there's plenty of time for us to rewatch the Harry Potter movies and watch the Fantastic Beasts movies in order to, and you probably don't even necessarily need to watch the Harry Potter movies, but
it would help.
I'm sure it would help.
I have seen the first Fantastic Beasts movie, and I was like, it would probably help if I got a refresher. And if I get a refresher on Harry Potter and I end up liking it a little bit more, that might help me like the Fantastic Beasts movie a little bit more as well. Before we keep on, we got a couple of... So I see we got a couple other ones. Was it Brennan threw in a $2 super chat saying it's more fun with a drunk Amber. And then we also got a Streamlabs from Russian Bot Love. They're saying, where is it at? They're saying twitch.tv/Chris Adams MLP. Thank you.
I love that we got the Russian bots are promoting me now.
Bot Love.
Wonderful.
What are you doing on your Twitch channel that's making Russian love bots want to advertise for you?
I don't know. I nickname a Pokemon Toast.
Oh, interesting. Let's see. Next one. Let's go with another video game movie. How do we feel about Sonic 2?
Oh, much higher than Uncharted.
Much higher.
Look at that poster. If you love video games, if you're at all a fan of Sonic the Hedgehog as a game, as a character, as anything, and you look at that poster, holy crap. You know that for you, that would probably be an S tier. I'm not going to put it in S tier because I rewatched the first Sonic recently and it does not hold up as well. It's definitely got some flaws that are pretty glaring. But as far as like the characterization of Sonic goes and how already Tails looks and the direction they're going in with Robotnik, and then we got freaking Knuckles, yo. And again, look at this poster. They did the whole airplane thing from Sonic 2.
Yeah.
I'm pretty hyped up for this one, honestly.
Yeah, I'm very, very interested in seeing this.
I think I'm actually more interested in seeing this right now than Top Gun, which sounds like it should be blasphemy, but here we are. Welcome to 2022, folks.
The thing with this, and I feel bad. I feel like I'm judging this movie based on other movies, other video game movies. The people at Olive Garden give Sonic 2 an S tier.
Fair. Because when you're here, you're family.
Nice. I don't I want to see this and I hope it's as good as I want it to be, but I'm so scared that it might just completely utterly fail. And again, not a judgment on Sonic itself, but I mean that's the state of video game movies. Other than say the first Sonic movie, Detective Pikachu, maybe the original Mortal Kombat in '95, there really haven't been a steady stream of real good video game movies.
Tomb Raiders have been okay.
Yeah, I would still say probably Detective Pikachu is probably the best video game movie.
100%. Absolutely. Upon rewatch, that one was much better as well. So there you go. I think that they're doing enough really good stuff with this, and I can just tell from the trailer, I can tell from watching the first one, that the people who are making it know Sonic, they love Sonic, despite the animation hiccup that the first one had to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
This just looks like a property that's filled with people who love the actual franchise itself. Interesting to note, and yes, I think I like where it's placed. I'd put it low A or maybe high B. Interesting to note, we got the first Sonic right before the pandemic started. We got a sequel to Sonic while the pandemic's still going. Yikes. We got to get out of this thing. We should not have a sequel to a movie during the same exact pandemic that started right after the first one came out.
God. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking is the end of A.
I will probably end up campaigning for this one to be the top of B, but for right now, I think it can stay there.
Okay. Also, we have another super chat from Amber saying, I want to be a Cinefanatics mod. Make it so. It will be so, Amber. It will definitely be so. As soon as I can figure out how to do that, and probably not while we're in the middle of this right now, because I'm messing up my screen, as you can see.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll work on it after off stream.
Yeah. What else do we want to do?
What's next? You got them all hidden up there, so.
Mm-hmm. Death on the Nile.
Oh, sweet Lord.
Stuck at the bottom of the C tier. I don't know.
Oh, is it? Is it though?
I liked Murder on the Orient Express. It was just really slow, but the story was decent. I think they did a really good job of how to do it. Garth, I can, but it will have to be something I work on later. I can't edit it right now.
Yeah, you can't grow it midstream. It's just because of how the overlay and everything works.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they may have picked up the pace on this movie a little bit more. The only other thing that's interesting is, I think we were making this joke the other night that
everybody makes this joke.
Half the cast is canceled already, so
canceled. Half the cast is problematic, we should say.
Oh, okay.
In some form or fashion. Yeah, here's the thing. What was the first one? Murder on the Orient Express? Best nap I've gotten in a theater in a long time. Honestly. Greatest sleep I got. Fantastic. I was falling asleep to the first one. I really was. It's not that it wasn't intriguing. It's just that there's just so much about it that just was off pacing wise for me. It just didn't connect at all. So forgive me that I'm not that enthusiastic for Death on the Nile, regardless of who's starring in it. It's, I just
Army Hammer isn't shown as much in the trailers.
Yeah.
Neither was what's his face in Anson Elgort in West
Ansel
Side
Elgort in West Side Story wasn't shown either. It's like the people who are marketing know who not to show in their trailers. Oh man, I have no hype. I'm not enthusiastic about this movie at all. I understand that there's people out there that liked Murder on the Orient Express. Kenneth Branagh, I think, is a fantastic director.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a fantastic actor. Love the guy. Not into Death on the Nile. It's an F tier for me.
I kind of want to stick it between Morbius and Uncharted for me. Like
Really?
I want to see it. I'm interested in seeing it, but a lot more than Uncharted or Avatar 2 as of right now.
I myself could not put it above Avatar 2. I'm much more intrigued into Avatar 2 than I am Death on the Nile.
Well, then I will put it at the top of F.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely more interested in Death on the Nile than Halloween Ends or Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah, no interest in
They probably didn't take their malaria treatments before the cruise a la anti-vax, so I think that is a twist of who the murderer is.
It's great. Let's go with this one. Transformers: Rise of the Beasts.
What? There's a Transformers movie coming out?
Yes. So this one's supposed to be directed by Stephen Caple Jr. That's going to introduce like the Beast Wars Transformers.
Okay.
I'm hoping that like this is going to play off a lot like Bumblebee, where we're kind of striving away from like the regular Michael Bay Transformers movies, and we're getting closer to like telling actual good stories by people who care about the source material. So that's what I'm like. The only thing with that though is by the time Beast Wars was popular, I just really wasn't into Transformers. I mean, I wouldn't say I've been a big Transformers fan anyways. Like even during the 80s, it wasn't my go-to cartoon or anything. So I knew of like Optimus Prime and Megatron, and that's about it. But yeah, definitely wasn't into Beast Wars. I don't know any of the Beast Wars characters, anything. I know it was like a computer-generated cartoon, much like Reboot.
Yeah. The thing about it is, again, like I'm on the same mind. If it's closer to Bumblebee, if we start seeing stuff from it and it's closer to Bumblebee, totally into it. You've already got me a little bit intrigued because you got Usnavi from In the Heights is in there, Anthony Ramos. And there's just you got the Stephen Caple Jr. You got Stephen Caple Jr. directing it. I liked Creed 2. I thought it was great. And I think Stephen Caple Jr. is a talented director, and I think he can definitely do some good work with this franchise, this property. So despite the fact that I still haven't watched, what was the last Transformers movie? Not Bumblebee, but the one before it. Last Night.
Yeah, The Last Night.
But I watched the honest trailer for that. That was enough for me. Despite the fact that I hadn't seen that, I am actually moderately interested in this. I think it's okay. It's okay for a Transformers. Okay, did they push it?
Well, okay, yeah. So going based off of what I was looking at, it still was referring to it coming out this year. But I mean, if it doesn't come out till 2023, then cool. But
I think we were going through IMDb and it was still showing that it was this 2022.
Yeah, and there's a possibility. There's also going to be a couple of more I know coming up. Like there's one or two in particular coming up that I don't know if they're actually going to come out this year, but as far as I know, right now they're supposed to be. All right,
That's
so it's scheduled to be released in the United States on June 9th, 2023. Okay, so do we just want to get rid of it?
It's in the tier below F, the haha, just kidding tier.
It's not out. Well, let's go for another fun one. How about this?
This is how you know that you can't always rely on IMDb, folks.
Yeah. Jurassic World Dominion.
Ooh, this is a fun one to talk about, isn't it?
So I believe we're supposed to get the first trailer during the Super Bowl, which is February 13th.
The big game.
Whatever.
We get the first trailer first during the big game.
Don't copyright the name of your sports event if you don't want people to say it like in normal conversation.
It's the superb owl. That's what he was saying. You guys just misheard him. He was talking about the superb owl. It's a very fancy bird. They're going to show a trailer next to a really fancy bird. Either way, the big game is also going to feature this trailer, and I'm looking forward to seeing the trailer.
Yeah, I'm hoping that this one's going back. Isn't this is being directed by Colin Trevorrow again?
I believe
the last one was J.A. Bayona.
Yeah. I think this one's Trevorrow.
I'm hoping Trevorrow, because the first Jurassic World wasn't bad, with the exception of her running in high heels from a T-Rex. That was a little weird, but other than that, I thought it was a pretty decent movie. It was a lot better than Jurassic Park 3. Yeah. Way better than Jurassic Park 3. So I'm kind of hoping that we're going to get like a return to that, only this time we are adding in the other Jurassic Park actors. So Sam Neill, Laura Dern, and Ian Malcolm. Jeff Goldblum. Oh, yes, that name. I should have actually purposely done that. Like, what's the name? Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. I know. So again, some of these we haven't seen a trailer for. We haven't seen any footage of. We know about as much as everyone else does. Just here's a somewhat of a poster. We know the original 3 actors are in this, and that the dinosaurs are now on the mainland.
Which is actually a storyline I'm very fascinated with, and I kind of wish they would have gotten to it sooner, because Fallen Kingdom was not good. I did not like Fallen Kingdom at all. And I think, honestly, Fallen Kingdom kind of tanks Jurassic World a little bit more. It kind of pulls it down a little bit. Because Jurassic World I thought was fine the first time I watched it, and I'm just not into this entire franchise as it is right now. Give me back to the original Jurassic Park. Even give me Lost World. I'll take both of those any day. That's a true fact right there. If Bryce Dallas Howard was directing it, absolutely. But the thing about it is that there is a storyline happening here that I am still intrigued at seeing happen. So despite the fact that the other 2 are not high on my most loved lists ever, I am still intrigued to see what they do story-wise with this movie. Mm-hmm. So I would say this movie is going to be very mid for me. That's what balances it out. It's the first 2 weren't great for me. This one sounds intriguing still.
Yeah, I would probably say on this, I'm probably also the low B, high C.
Yeah.
Do you have a preference as to which one?
Not really. Low B, high C works. You can go ahead and throw it in B right now, just because we don't have as much in there.
Okay. Ooh, let's do a controversial DC comic book one.
Uh-oh.
Aquaman 2 and the Lost Kingdom, or Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom.
So controversial. What's controversial with that?
Only controversial because this channel knows how much I like how much I like Aquaman. I'm not an Aquaman fan. I'm not a fan of the character. Jason Momoa does a fantastic job. The first Aquaman movie was pretty decent. I'm surprised that they made it watchable. I have watched
it's entertaining.
Yeah, I've watched it more than once. I don't care about Aquaman in general. So I don't know. It depends on what they do with this movie. If they can do something really interesting That would be great, but I don't foresee anything super extravagant.
Now, when you say really interesting, do you mean kill off Mara?
I mean, maybe.
That would be really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm actually more highly anticipating the drama that's going to go around with this movie rather than the movie itself.
Yeah, for sure. The movie, I liked the first one. Let's say despite Amber Heard, despite her still being a part of the project, Jason Momoa as Aquaman. This is what I say all the time when these situations happen, when there's somebody involved with a movie who is problematic in some way, has done something, said something, what have you, is I say that is one person involved with the project. The entire project should not be tanked because of one person. There are so many other people who are working on this project who this is their livelihood, this is their job, this is how they feed their families. There's other actors in the movie who have not done stupid things or said dumb things or done whatever, who are people we should be supporting. We should support them when they go see a movie. I personally think that you shouldn't throw a movie, into oblivion just because one person who's a part of the project is bad or has done something bad.
Yeah.
Or is questionable in any way. That's why I still was fine with going to see West Side Story, despite whatever is attached to Ansel Elgort's name. Everybody else in the movie I wanted to support. Same here. We talk about this movie, you got to bring up the Amber Heard stuff. Amber Heard aside, everybody else in this movie I want to see on screen, I want to support. I did like the first one. I'm pretty well intrigued by a sequel. I would probably put this one definitely above Flash for me. I would also probably put this one in around the B tier.
That's what I was gonna agree with. I would say probably under Jurassic World. Just because I was surprised as to how that they were able to make a good, entertaining movie from Aquaman in the first one. I'm holding out hope that they can do it again in a sequel.
Yeah,
but if it wasn't for the fact that I run Cinefanatics and stuff, I wouldn't be rushing out to the theater necessarily to go see this. But let's do another one that I know we're gonna have a good high opinion on. Let's go Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
F.
Whatever.
That's probably the most S tier movie right now.
Yeah, in fact, I'm gonna move. Yeah, that's the biggest. Okay, we don't really need to talk about this one too much. We know that this one's gonna go S or 8, whatever you want to call it. So
yeah, it's in the 8 tier. It's S. There's just so much behind it right now. Marvel connectivity and all that. S. Easy.
Let's knock out one or two other ones that I believe are probably, in my opinion, S tier. Lightyear. So again, this is the other Pixar one that we were saying should go above Turning Red.
I am definitely more interested in Lightyear than I am Turning Red, and that is because there's a Toy Story connectivity for me. I grew up with Toy Story. First movie came out in 95. That was my childhood. It grew up with me. Toy Story 2 was 98, I believe, 98, 99. Toy Story 3 was 2010. Andy was in college. That was around the time I was doing college. And Toy Story 4, Andy was an adult, wasn't even really in it. I'm an adult. Toy Story as a franchise grew up with me. So for them to go and do something completely new and different with it, now that I'm an adult and can handle such themes, you got it in the right spot. Yeah. Lightyear's an S.
Mm-hmm. And I went ahead and took the courtesy of putting it above the massive talent, Unbearable Weight, which I'm still super anxious for. But
I would actually say that as in terms of anticipation, both of those are probably about equal.
Yeah. I think the nostalgia factor on Lightyear has it, though.
Yeah.
Let's do one more animated that I believe is probably going to shoot pretty high. Let's go Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1.
Hey, what does Spider-Man start with?
The Marquee wants to go like flying off the handle over here.
Across the Marquee-verse.
Spider-Man starts with an S.
Put it in F. No, yeah, put it in S.
There's now here's where I would question.
Higher.
You think higher?
Absolutely. I'd almost put that higher than Lightyear, to be honest.
Okay.
As weird as that is, after I just explained the entire Toy Story thing, I'd put it probably higher than Lightyear. It's definitely still under Doctor Strange. But damn it if Into the Spider-Verse wasn't a good movie.
Yeah. S tier for Spider-Man. S for Spider-Man.
We're talking about, prior to No Way Home, what most of us out here were calling the best theatrically released Spider-Man movie. I do put No Way Home above Into the Spider-Verse now, but it's very close. Into the Spider-Verse is really good, and so I'm super anticipating the sequel, just because it's got a part 1 on it.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and do another DC movie.
Is it time?
No, let's do Black Adam.
Okay, cool.
Really can't see it say that. So yes, I will be working on the graphics a little bit more, making this bigger and brighter, but
trial run. There you go.
Yeah. Black Adam. This is another one kind of like Morbius. And maybe the comic books may be different nowadays, where Black Adam is more of a major character than he was back when I was younger, interested in Shazam and Black Adam, or Captain Marvel, whatever you want to call him. I don't see the need for Black Adam to have his own movie. Just...
Yeah. Likewise, I mean, we have a character who's traditionally conjoined with his hero counterpart. Black Adam was the villain to Shazam as the hero.
He was the Magneto to Professor X, the Green Goblin to Spider-Man.
So we talk about the pros and cons to this. Pro, Dwayne Johnson. All day, every day, the man knows how to hype his stuff up. He hypes himself up. He hypes his properties up. He's got the drive. He's got the power. He stays hungry. He devours.
Oh, God. Why?
Because
he's going to look good. He's going to look real good.
He's going to look good. He's going to be great as Black Adam. 100%.
Yeah.
Downside, they've been working on this movie for about as long as James Cameron's been working on Avatar 2.
Yeah.
Am I lying? Since like 2007, y'all. This movie's been in the works for about as long as Avatar's sequel has.
When does Shazam come out?
Soon. Next year? Or is it this year?
Oh, 2023. Yeah, it's slated for June 2nd, 2023. Okay, good, because I put this together. I was like, I don't remember putting Shazam on this.
Yeah.
Didn't we already get a trailer for it, though?
We got like a first look from like DC Fandom.
Okay.
Cat. He's the only man who can rhyme hours with hours and get away with it. 100%. That is true. You're going to tell The Rock he can't do that? He's going to eat you like a stack of pancakes.
I'm not telling The Rock he can't do anything.
Exactly.
I work for a cable company. I'm not telling him that I can't lower his bill or that I can't provide this pay-per-view free of charge. Like, no.
The only thing I'm going to tell him is that his movie should have come out a lot sooner if I'm supposed to be super hyped for it. This goes right above Flash for me.
I'm actually more interested in seeing Flash because of the Michael Keaton thing than I am Black Adam.
I mean, I'm giving him the hype side of it, but there's so much more of the Flash that kind of kills that movie for me than anything about Black Adam. I think from what we've seen, they've got the tone right, and The Rock Dwayne Johnson's going to be really good as Black Adam.
Set in the desert, not the jungle.
Oh, it'll probably find its way to the jungle.
It'll get to a jungle at some point.
Dwayne Johnson has that written in his contract. Movie must have a jungle setting at some point.
Yeah. All right, so you want to put it above the Flash?
I would put it above the Flash. And I know that stings with the Michael Keaton part, but that's about the only thing that's really hyping me up for the Flash right now is Michael Keaton. That's not enough for me to be all in on the Flash.
let's see. What else do we have left? Let's do one that I know that only I'm going to have an opinion of. Evil Dead Rise.
F.
No. This one is being directed by Lee Cronin, this is going to be his second movie. Kind of like the last Evil Dead movie that came out in 2013 that was really good. Fede Alvarez did a phenomenal job at that. This is also one where the director was handpicked by Sam Raimi. Like, you are allowed to touch my property. That sounded much better in my head. But he's given that blessing to be able to do that.
You guys are making up now.
No.
This movie does exist.
I mean, I am a huge Evil Dead fan, so I am already like super hyped on this. It's got Bruce Campbell's producing. He's not starring. It's a whole nother cast of like teenagers or whatever for this movie. This one takes the Evil Dead out of the cabin in the woods and into the city. So that's going to be really interesting to see exactly what it does with that.
Huh.
That being said, I would, if this was just my personal list, this would be going S tier, like pretty high in S tier, I would say. But because I know you're not that going to be that interested in it as well, I am going to put this.
So here's the thing. About where we put horror movies. I don't have a say on them pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm just automatically primarily against most of them. So if you want to throw it in S tier, throw it in S tier. This is going to reflect both of our opinions. And while I don't have an opinion on horror movies, you do. So throw that bad boy in S tier if you want to.
Yeah. Jeremy Miller, A tier for Evil Dead Rise.
I was going to say that they're going into the cities and put it right next to Jurassic World Dominion where dinosaurs are going into the city. Everyone's just going to the city now. I'm just kidding.
What we got left? Let's go with another one that I'm not 100% certain if it actually is going to come out this year. I haven't seen anything confirming otherwise, but it still might be questionable given what's going on set. That would be Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
Oh, this movie's probably not coming out this year.
It's supposed to be like in November or so. We're at the end of January, so I mean, there might be still some time.
We'll see. We will see, won't we? This movie's got a weird balance to it right now. I'm not hyped because honestly, we don't have our lead anymore, and you know, obviously the problem with that is that Chadwick Boseman passed away. There's nothing that we can help about that. Understood. It's still the fact of the matter is a sequel to Black Panther doesn't have T'Challa in it, as far as we're aware right now, in any capacity. Maybe they might do like some CGI something or other, but I just that kind of kills a little bit of my hype. But on the flip side, I am very intrigued to see what they actually do with the story, sans the main character himself.
That's what I was thinking. It's less about hype and more of just I'm curious, really.
Mm-hmm.
So I would put this probably in A right now.
As a side note, like I know people are talking about Letitia Wright being in there. Fine. Mm-hmm. I think you have a perfect opportunity to give the Black Panther mantle to Lupita Nyong'o, because she is a fantastic actress and deserves to headline a franchise in Marvel. So that's my opinion.
Or what's his name? Winston Duke.
Make them both the main characters. Mm-hmm. I think also there's a talk of Michael B. Jordan somehow making a return in some capacity. So depending on how they handle that, if that's true.
Yeah. So I'm thinking like at the end of A for right now, until we get like maybe a little more as far as exactly what's going on with it.
I feel like that's a safe place to put it.
We got that one left, that one left, that one. Let's go ahead and do a fun one real quick. Let's go ahead and knock out the Batman.
You and I have a different definition of fun.
So I know this is the one that I was like building the hype around talking about. Here's my thing with this. How many iterations of Batman movies have we had now? I mean, let's keep in mind the one that came out in '89. That series ended in '97 with Batman and Robin. For all intents and purposes, that's one cohesive. Well, maybe not very cohesive, but that's one story.
Is it?
It is. I mean, you still had the follow through of like the same actor, Pat Hingle and Michael Gow as Commissioner Gordon and Alfred. You had stuff that happened in one movie that would get referenced in another movie, whether a costume showing up or talking about like what happened with like Vicky. I think they mentioned what happened with Vicky Vale in Batman Returns when Bruce is interested in Selena Kyle. So yeah, it all takes place within one story, much like you got the Christian Bale movies, the Dark Knight trilogy. That's all one cohesive story. You've got the ones that we saw in Justice League, Batman v Superman with Ben Affleck. That's one Batman. Now here's another Batman again. And we're going back to what looks like obviously is going to be a year one storyline. So we're back to seeing Batman starting his career, which we saw in the Christian Bale ones.
The Christian Bale, Batman Begins. Yeah.
Other than like all the Batman movies, of course, going back and showing like the origin of Batman. Even the Joker movie had to go and show the origin of Batman again. So I'm just tired of seeing Batman movies like just we're going to start a whole nother Batman story. Like I want to see basically the MCU of Batman. Pick an actor, make a bunch of Batman movies, keep it all one big story, and just stick with it. Stop redoing Batman every couple of years. Spider-Man was starting to get that way. Had the MCU not like stepped in and properly grabbed hold of Spider-Man and said, hey, here's the storyline now.
On top of that, you're also looking at another iteration of Batman that is the same exact, very dark and brooding, which I get Batman's a dark and brooding character, but it's the same level of dark and brooding to a degree that we saw in the Dark Knight movies. I would say if you're going to do another Batman movie, another Batman franchise, first of all, I would have loved to see, obviously, Ben Affleck be the Batman for the DCEU. Because I think Ben Affleck's Batman had the same vibes to it as the 90s animated series did. Which would be the Batman that I would want to see on screen now. A much more lighter, colorful, but still has that dark nature to him. It's got both. It's a nice fair balance of both. I would like to see that Batman on screen. Now, that being said, there's a lot of really solid talent behind this movie. Robert Pattinson is going to kill it as Bruce Wayne. Zoe Kravitz as Selena Kyle is awesome.
Paul
Dano's Riddler is going to be good.
Even though his Riddler's just...
Regardless of what you think about his costume or how they're portraying him, he's going to make a good Riddler as far as the characterization of the character goes. Matt Reeves as director is a stellar choice.
Yes.
Such a good pick.
That I agree with. Yeah.
I am tired of seeing the trailers for this movie before every single movie I go see in a theater. I just want to see this movie now. I'm done with the trailers. And every time I see a trailer, it does bring me down a little bit more. I'm more of a, hey, no more trailers. Just want to see the movie. I don't want to watch the trailer again. As good as they were, as great as the music in the trailers was, I just want to see the movie.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like what you were just saying. I want to see a live action animated series. Just do that.
Yeah, that's the Batman that we haven't seen on screen yet. I mean, I don't count the ones in the 90s. I think those were their own thing. I don't think those were the animated series come to life.
No, they weren't.
Those were the Joel Schumacher colorful Gotham come to life.
Mm-hmm.
So for this one, like, I think what they're doing with the story, the talent behind it, I'm very interested in it. Tired of seeing the trailers, but as far as the story and it's Batman, and I'm very, first of all, if you guys have seen Good Time, don't go based off of the Twilight movies for Robert Pattinson.
Wait, he's not going to be sparkly?
He's not going to be sparkly.
I want a sparkly Batman.
I
want a Batman that looks like he grabbed one of Mark Rober's like glitter bombs off the front porch.
Nice. We know he's going to do good. He's going to have great characterization here. I don't think the Batman is an S tier movie for me, but I don't put it lower than A.
Like, I am interested in it for the reasons that you said. Yeah, I mean, Batman Mask of the Phantasm. Yeah.
Live action, though.
I lump Mask of the Phantasm more with the animated series than I do as its own actual movie. Even though, like, Mask of the Phantasm and what was it called? Sub-Zero. Both of those were phenomenal movies. And like those would probably still be some of the best Batman movies ever made, but no one really acknowledges it because they're animated.
They just feel like extended episodes of the series, just like the Clone Wars, the Star Wars Clone Wars movie feels like an extended episode of the Clone Wars show.
Yeah. Same with the Batman Beyond Return of the Joker. It was really well done also. But yeah, I want to see just one cohesive storyline for Batman. That's the number one thing I want. And I don't like that we're doing this again. If they do that with this, if this is the launching pad to make Robert Pattinson like the new Batman for like the next 10, 15 years, and they're just going to start series of it. And then in this case, I could see like maybe if they want to do a Joker spin off of this, or they want to do the Batwoman movie is based in the same universe as this Batman movie. Great. That's what I want to see. But I don't want to see another Batman that we're going to tell one single story, maybe get a sequel out of it, and then another couple later we're going to do another Batman movie that has nothing to do with this one.
Which, I mean, history has shown that that's the precedent set for Batman in movies.
Yeah.
But yes, we are in a day and age now where we're looking at the MCU, we're looking at what Marvel has done, and we want that for DC, we want that for the Justice League, and they were trying to do that and haven't completely figured out the formula for it yet. I don't think we get that for this. I think they have stated multiple times this Batman is his own thing, just like every other Batman aside from Ben Affleck has been his own thing.
This is going the route of Blockbuster Video, thinking that they could still exist in a world where Redbox and Netflix are starting to take over, and they're failing to keep up, and it's just going to fall flat. I feel like that's what's going to happen with this Batman movie. Especially, let's hope it's a good movie. If it's a good movie, it has a chance of survival.
I was going to say, to an extent, you say that, but at the same time, this could still be a really good movie.
If it's a really good movie, it's got a good chance at surviving, yes. But if it's not good, that's going to kill it.
But that's why I'm saying I'm expecting, based on the talent that's a part of it, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good movie. It's not necessarily the Batman you want to see anymore, but it's definitely still going to be good in its own right. So I still am putting it in the
Batman we deserve.
Exactly. I'm still putting it in the A tier for myself. I'm not for it right now. The trailers have killed my hype completely for it, but I still have a feeling it's going to be good, and I'm still interested enough to throw it in the A tier.
I'd want to put it in B, probably the highest of B, because I still not because it begins with B, but because it is Batman. I love Batman. It's a Batman movie. I'm gonna watch it. But
if we do that, we're moving Turning Red and Sonic out of A tier, because I'm not putting those two above, or Nope, that I know nothing about, above Batman.
Nope.
I'm thinking Batman's got to go pretty high on the A tier. It's got to go above some of these other movies for sure.
I'll put Batman at the high end of the A tier, just because going just solely off of the fact that there is, like you said, really good talent in it.
Mm-hmm.
My problems with it aren't necessarily the problems of the movie itself. It's the problems of the people making the movies, the money holders and decision makers. The studio going, let's do it again. God, why? Always.
Which that's a situation that isn't a fault of the movie necessarily. It is a fault of the studio. The movie itself still looks good.
Yeah.
Is that how y'all thought that conversation was going to go?
What was the other one? What was it I just covered up? Oh, Wakanda.
It's the Batman.
I love it. Like, he was so good. I love Cillian Murphy as Scarecrow. That was like perfect casting. Easily. Let's finish this up. We've got
One of the 4 or 5 movies.
There's that one left, that one left, that one left. There's only 3. Okay.
Oh, yeah, we got rid of Transformers. That's right.
Yeah. Let's do this one because this one's going to be kind of interesting. Keeping in line with DC Comics. DC League of Super Pets.
I'm not seeing this in the theater. I'm waiting for HBO Max.
Yeah, my hype level is... I hate the fact that they made like Ace the Bat Hound. Like, he's not even like a regal dog. He's a comedic relief.
He's Kevin Hart.
He's Kevin Hart. I like Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart's good comedic relief. Ace the Bat Hound is not comedic relief. If anything, if you're going to use Ace as comedic relief, then you need to go the exact opposite direction and make him like stone cold, solid. Like, everyone else has like funny lines and stuff, and he's the only one that is playing it straight the entire time. And he's playing it straight almost to absurdity levels.
Here's the thing. I would slide it above Fantastic Beasts, but that's about it.
Okay, I'll see. I agree with that. I will see this DC Super Pets.
Mm-hmm. I'll watch it when it hits HBO Max. There's no guarantee that I'm going to be able to watch that Fantastic Beasts movie this year if I have to watch all the other Wizarding World movies beforehand. See, so Nerd brings up he doesn't like The Secret Life of Pets. I actually did like The Secret Life of Pets.
I thought it was okay.
I thought it was a fun movie. This is the super version of that for sure.
Yeah.
I'm just, as the concept goes, I just don't care as much. And that's the thing about it is, honestly, it'll be decent. I'm sure this is a movie that actually has potential to be really good. And I actually would like to go back and revisit this later on once it comes out and we've had a chance to see it. Because I think that movie is a movie that has the potential to be one of those, like, we didn't think much of it then, but holy crap, this movie was actually really funny, really cute. This is going to end up being like one of the best animated features of this year.
Here's the thing. So we're making this list not off of like how good we think this movie's going to be. It's just our anticipation right now.
Yeah.
This is going to be a fun one. Like, after we're done with this, like, screenshot this, hold on to it. I don't know why the marquee is off again. Like, I'll screenshot this, hold on to the image of the marquee and where we're placing things. And then I want to see how, like, later on if we're ranking the movies that have come out, how well have these performed according to our anticipation? Like, we're heavily anticipating Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. What happens when that movie comes out and it's worse than Eternals?
Oh God! Don't put that evil on us, Ricky Bobby.
Yeah. I mean, for something like that, just for funsies, like, just to see how it looks later on.
Garth says they should have cast Christian Bale as Ace the Bat Hound, which I do.
That would have been
idea.
awesome.
I think that's a great idea, but the Nerd said they should have just not made this.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I get why they made this. This is geared more for the kids, and
it's 100% geared more for the kids. But I'm expecting there to be some funny stuff.
Tim, it's at the end of C.
I feel like Tim is going to hate us for that, but you know, these things happen.
Not a big like Viking with Robert Eggers. So second to last one. This is another one I'm not 100% certain if it's going to make it this year. I believe filming may be done. Possibly.
Indiana Jones 5.
No. Creed 3.
As far as we're aware right now, this one's still coming out this year. We should be very clear that we reserve the right to be wrong on some of this because, we live in a world where movies can get pushed all the time. So as far as we're aware, this one's still coming out this year. I'm sure y'all will tell us in the chat if we're wrong.
I hate you, and I reiterate, make this bigger. I will work on making it bigger before the next Marquee. Creed 3. I love the Creed movies so far. Both of them have been really good.
Yep.
Here's the thing, though, which this sounds so bad, and you know what I'm going to say, but what would really build up the hype for this movie? It's time to see Rocky pass away.
Oh no, he did it. He said it. Oh God.
I love Rocky. And I feel so bad that everyone else in his life has already died, and it just
We've had a wonderful time on this channel. This is the end of the Cinefanatics. My brother just suggested that Rocky should die. Therefore, our channel is over. It's been nice hanging with you guys.
But I think for Adonis Creed to be able to continue on, for it to have that punch that the third movie needs, the punch, no pun intended on that one. Right. He needs to have that one final lesson, and that is losing his mentor.
Stand on your own.
And that I want to see a movie that properly gives a good send-off to Rocky Balboa. So
yeah,
I feel like we as an audience who loved Rocky since 76, I believe. We need the closure on this. We need to be able to go to his funeral, so to speak.
Not Sly.
Not Sly. No,
he can stick around for as long as he wants.
Yeah,
just Rocky.
Yeah, I want to see the passing of Rocky. I want to see it done very respectfully, and I want to see how it affects and grows Donnie. So
yeah. So here's the thing. I think I agree with that.
Yeah, and Tim Franco's saying it too.
I feel like that's got to be the way the story goes. I mean, that is the next step in Adonis's journey. Is he's got to stand on his own now. No dad, no mentor, nothing.
That's gonna be interesting, especially if they do go the route with killing off Rocky in this movie. Yeah, Michael B. Jordan directing it. If Michael B. Jordan is directing and they kill off Rocky,
and it's good,
that is Oscar bait right there if I've ever heard it.
Yeah,
that is instant Oscar bait for Michael B. Jordan, actor, director, the script or screenplay. I'm sorry. Yeah, all of that. Oh man, that's what I would hope for. That would make this a perfect trilogy ender. So. Yeah. So if that's what they do, and that's what I'm going to guess that they're probably going to do with this, then this would be very high for me.
The only thing that's working against it right now where we're at standing, and this is the same thing that some of these movies have the problem with, is that we don't have really anything on it yet. No trailer. We just know who's involved with it and what they're doing.
I put it right there then at the end of A.
We know that Sylvester Stallone's not starring in the movie at all, right? He's not in it.
As far as I know, he should be in it.
I thought they said that he wasn't in it. And if he's not in it,
then how are they going to kill him off if he's not in it?
If he's not in it, then you're starting with a funeral.
God damn, that sucks. I want that. I want that scene. If you look back at what was it, Rocky 3, when Mickey died, we had that. We got to see Rocky and Mickey that final time. We got to see Rocky's feelings and emotions as Mickey died. Yeah. I want to see that with Rocky and Adonis.
He's currently not on the IMDb cast list, so It's likely that he'll be killed off screen.
I don't know,
But
unless they do it in a very tasteful, respectful way. In my mind, I don't like that idea.
There's a way to do it. There is a way to write it, and it's gonna be this movie happens so many years into the future. We might flash back to the funeral scene, but it's gonna be Adonis talking about the legacy that Rocky left behind for him, probably to his kid.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be him telling the story, hyping up the story of who Rocky Balboa was to his offspring. That I can see happening.
Wasn't that how the last movie ended, with Rocky going to see his son and meeting his grandson?
Mm-hmm.
That was I feel like that's a gut punch if that's how the last one ends, and then the next one begins with, "Oh yeah, Rocky's dead."
But it's not. But here's the thing: the way it's written, it's not treated as "Oh yeah, Rocky's dead." It's treated.
Well, yeah,
it can be treated with reverence and respect, and it will be. So,
I hope so. I so hope so. I love Rocky, and
give me a Rocky Force ghost.
Yeah, that's what I want. Yeah,
use the Force, Adonis.
Donnie, use the Force, yo.
Use the Force. For me, like, just based on the fact that we don't have anything for it other than we know that Michael B. Jordan's directing it and where the story could possibly go, I personally would put it on the top of B right now, mm-hmm. But that's without like trailer and stuff. I think as soon as you get a trailer for that, it jumps up the list immediately.
Yeah. Okay, so the final one that we have to rank on here, and I'm almost certain I know where this one. God, that is annoying. Now that you've pointed that out earlier. So we got one final one, and I have a pretty good idea. I know where this one's going to go because we are all like super hyped on this, even though we haven't seen anything. We know what this movie's about. We know who's in this movie. I want to see this so bad. Thor: Love and Thunder. Just give me another Thor movie directed by Taika Waititi.
With Christian Bale as the villain, Natalie Portman's back. Like, this checks off a lot of boxes.
Did you see, apparently there was like some behind the scenes images that leaked of Christian Bale in costume as Gore the God Butcher?
I think I saw it.
They're going like comic book accurate with him.
Which means he's going to have a ton of makeup on his face the entire time.
Yeah. That might be very interesting.
Which those situations are usually always hit or miss. Mm-hmm. Christian Bale is an amazingly fantastic actor. So who knows? Who knows what ends up happening there? But I also trust Marvel completely at this point, even with Eternals. As much as I wasn't as big a fan of Eternals, it's still better than a lot of other comic book movies out there because Marvel knows what it's doing. With Thor: Love and Thunder, I trust that this is going to be a fun movie. Like, Ragnarok, I was just okay with when it first came out, but upon rewatch, Ragnarok is fantastic. I love it.
Yeah.
And I expect this to be relatively the same. I would be hard pressed to say this doesn't go anywhere other than S still.
That's what I'm thinking also. I just don't know.
And Russell Crowe's playing Zeus. Like, I mean,
I could see, if you, depending on where you agree on it, I see this probably going under Spider-Man, but above Lightyear.
I would stick it somewhere around Lightyear, maybe before, maybe after.
I would say before, just because, again, Lightyear is just a single story about Buzz Lightyear. It doesn't really tie into anything else.
We have the hype of prior Thor movies, prior MCU movies to back up Love and Thunder. That's a good point.
So that's where I think this is going to end. So real quick, let me go.
How do we feel about this?
Oh, yeah.
I'm relatively okay. I mean, I'd still probably put... I would still probably put like Creed 3 at the top of B just to like kind of even it out a little bit. That might be more of an aesthetic thing for me, but
I could be down for that.
also, again, we still don't have any like trailers or anything. That thing still shoots up immediately as soon as we get a first trailer that shows us what's kind of going on with the movie.
Yeah.
Gar says no Legally Blonde 3. Is that movie coming out this year?
I don't know.
That's one of those movies we don't have a poster or anything for yet other than that it's happening. Have they even started shooting it yet?
Okay, so for the most part, that we say that looks good.
I will say I'm a little bummed that we don't get to have Mission Impossible or John Wick on here. Because you know John Wick 4 would be very high on this list too.
Yes.
I would even put the next Mission Impossible pretty high as well. But Legally Blonde 3 comes out in May. Does it? Will it? Because I think we looked at that and we were like, there's nothing on this yet. There is no like trailer. There's no poster. There's barely a cast list for it. It's one of those movies where I think they have it in that spot right now. Nice.
Woohoo!
They have it in that spot right now, but I don't think that it's landing there for much longer.
Let me get... Okay, so here's how we ended up. Full screen. There, now everyone can see all the choices, all the decisions. Pretty clear, with the exception that you still really can't read Black Adam.
Yeah. Well, that's because the poster is super dark.
Ooh.
All right, for the most part, I know like Northmen aside, that's kind of the one that I think we're split from chat for the most part of. But outside of that, what do you guys think in the chat? Anything you guys would change? Would y'all put something in a different spot? I feel pretty good about this.
Yeah.
I find it hilarious that The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent
is S tier.
Is S tier because it's just a rando property coming out of nowhere. That
just carried on the idea of Nicolas Cage. That's it.
It's literally on the back of Nicolas Cage. That's it. We know Pedro Pascal is fantastic too. But
what's funny about that is I believe, I don't know if it was like that for you or anyone in the chat, feel free to admit it also, but when that movie first got announced and we heard what it was about, that immediately went S tier. I was like, oh, hell yeah, I want to see that. This sounds like it's going to be phenomenal.
It's Nicolas Cage in a meta movie about himself.
Yeah. So yeah, not even, but that was before even seeing the trailer. The trailer just really helped it even more, but that was an idea that I was like super game for immediately. So
yeah, Super Pet should be S tier.
Yeah.
What does Super Pet start with? S. No, I feel good about this list. I think this is a good list. I think that we can definitely screen grab this, throw it up on the Cinefanatics Twitter, and I think it's definitely going to be good for us to revisit later. I think it would be dope, actually, if we do a marquee. When's the last release date? What movie on here has the last release date? Is it like in November?
I believe it's one of the 2 December ones. So it was Avatar 2 or Aquaman 2.
It might be good. If we can't get it in December, maybe January, at the end of January, like this time next year, to go back, revisit this marquee and go, okay, all these movies now that we've pretty much seen, expecting that we've seen pretty much all of them at that point, even Fantastic Beasts maybe, to go back and redo this exact marquee again, having seen all of these movies and rank them based on what we actually think of them.
Yeah.
Which could be super long because this is like, again, 25, 26, 26, however many movies. And at that point, we're going to want to actually talk about them. So we'll see. We might play around with that idea, but I think it'd be a lot of fun to kind of play around, kind of do that. Something to that effect.
Yeah. That might be also something. I'm kind of thinking of just going the route of like just briefly touch upon it, like on a tagline or something. Like, well, this was interesting, and just make that a quick breeze through.
Or maybe we even just do the marquee on our own outside of doing it as a live stream, and then just put up, okay, do it on our top 10 or our top 20 or whatever of 2022, and then we also go, okay, and then this is what the marquee looks like afterwards based on our opinions now.
Yeah,
and just show the finished marquee.
Woo, this will be interesting. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the marquee. That was interesting. A lot of really curious as to see how like where some of those movies landed on. I was prepared to argue for Batman to go a little bit lower, but you convinced me. It's not about the movie; it's about the talent.
It's got good talent behind it that hypes it up.
Yeah. So that's gonna do it for that tonight. Any of y'all in the chat? What do y'all? Any of y'all have anything else to say? Anything else to do? Where are we gonna plug real quick? Patreon.com/Cinefanatics. Monday night we are doing the watch along of Groundhog Day. So if you are following Patreon at the $5 due tier, you could join us for that on Monday night. That's going to be 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern.
In the Discord.
Yeah. In the Discord. So yeah, join us in the voice chat on the Discord on Monday.
Yep.
Tagline on Wednesday. I think that's all we got for right now. We will be updating with other things.
Stay tuned for that. Nerd will be coming out with when we are gonna do that one still. We're 100% gonna do that one still, but we're gonna reschedule that one. I would say we'll talk about it off stream, but earliest potentially would be like next month. But we'll talk about that later and update you guys when we come to a decision.
I know there's also a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie coming out this year. I didn't put it on this marquee because just completely forgot about it, but I do know that they're releasing the first trailer for it on Monday. So be on the lookout from us or from me, a trailer reaction on this channel. So that will be sometime Monday as soon as I can get to it. I do have to work that day, and then we have the watch along that night, but I will try to crank that out as soon as I can.
Also, you might notice a distinct lack of Moonfall on this marquee. It's because it's an automatic S tier. We don't need to talk about it. Movie's gonna be dope.
Yeah, possibly. It's just Moonfall. I've only recently just heard about Moonfall, and we're gonna go see it next week or whatever. So
yeah,
there's really not like a hype or anticipation for it. I just found out that it exists, and now I'm gonna go see it. So
just watch the trailer over and over and over again until you get there.
Yeah,
it's gonna be good though. Guys, also I'm currently in the middle of a weekend full of Pokemon Legends Arceus over on Twitch. So twitch.tv/ChrisAdamsMLP. Great place to go jump in there. I will be streaming pretty much all day tomorrow. So come jump in, come hang out at the Twitch. Love to see you guys in the chat as much as possible, as much as you can be there. I would love to chat with you guys. I just really love the chat interaction. So I always try to push for as many people being in there and chatting with me as possible. So it's going to be fun. But that's what I've got going on there.
Mm-hmm.
As for all of us, all the social media places to find us.
Follow Cinefanatics MLP on Twitter and Instagram at Cinefanatics MLP. You can follow me, Robert Adams MLP, Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. And then my brother.
I'm at Chris Adams MLP at Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd as well.
Is Moonfall the sequel to Don't Look Up?
Yes.
That reminds me of back when I was a kid, whenever you had drills in school, you had to go run out into the hall and lean up, lay against the wall with your hands covered Moonfall. Will
Tori be providing voices again? Completely up to her. It's all completely up to her. She came up with that idea, so I will let her decide whether or not she wants to do that or not.
Anyways,
stay tuned.
That's gonna do it for tonight. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for being a part of this. We will see y'all in Chris's loud ass jar of mints or whatever. We will see y'all later.
See ya.